Before 1994, Rwanda was a small, green, and quiet nation. Hills rolled gently. Children walked barefoot to school. At sunset, smoke from cooking fires rose into the sky. People greeted each other by name. Many did not even know which tribe they belonged to until they were told it mattered. During colonial rule, Belgium divided Rwandans into Hutu and Tutsi, not by blood, but by appearance and cattle ownership. Identity cards were printed. Labels were forced on people by tribe. One country. One language. But suddenly, two enemies. For decades, resentment grew quietly. Then comes the day everything broke. On the night of April 6, 1994, the plane carrying Rwanda's president, Juvenal Habyarimana, was shot down as it approached Kigali. The crash echoed through the hills. By morning, the blame had already been chosen. The Tutsis did this. That lie was all it took. Within hours, roadblocks appeared. Names were checked. Identity cards decided who lived and who died. Radio stations began to speak cruelly, "Clear the bushes. Do your work." Those words meant kill your neighbor. Machetes were distributed at the speed of light, cheaper than bullets. Teachers killed students. Pastors handed over worshippers. Men who refused to kill were killed instead. And then, the victims were mainly Tutsis and some Hutus who refused to participate. People ran to churches, believing God would not allow such evil inside his house. Not knowing darkness have taken over. Doors were locked from the outside. Grenades were thrown in. Machetes followed. Mothers used their bodies to shield their children. Children begged for water while bleeding. The floors turned red. The prayers never stopped even when voices faded. Then came only one woman that survived from the church. The woman later told her story. She hid under the bodies of her children for 3 days. She did not cry. She did not move. Ants crawled over her skin. Blood dried in her hair. When she finally crawled out, she was alive, but everything that made life meaningful was gone. In some places, entire communities were erased in one afternoon. Women were not only killed, many were violated, infected with HIV intentionally, then left to die slowly. Babies were smashed against walls. Pregnant women were cut open to see their unborn child. There were survivors who lived because they hid under piles of corpses, breathing the smell of death for days. But remember, survival was not mercy. It was a sentence to lifelong pain. The world watched in silence and did nothing. The United Nations had soldiers there. They were ordered not to intervene. Foreign nations evacuated their own citizens and left Rwandans behind. Phone calls were made. Meetings were held. Words like complex situation were used where bodies filled rivers. In 100 days, more than 800,000 people were murdered. The war did not fail Rwanda by accident. It chose silence. By July 1994, the guns went quiet. But Rwanda was no longer a country, it was a mass grave. There were children with no parents. Parents with no children. Villages where nobody remained to remember the dead. Survivors had to live beside the people who killed their families. Justice came slowly. Healing even slower. What this story taught us? It taught us that hate doesn't start with weapons, it starts with words. That when leaders spread hate, innocent people die. It also taught us that tribalism can destroy a nation. It taught us that silence can be as deadly as violence. Why this story still matters today? Because the same signs still exist: hate speech, tribal politics, division through identity, leaders using fear to gain power. Rwanda teaches us this painful truth: never again means nothing if we do not act when warning signs appear. The final truth that will shock you: Rwanda did not fall because people were evil. It fell because lies were allowed to grow and help arrived too late. Today, Rwanda stands again, but beneath its soil are voices that still ask, why did no one come? Why did the world choose to do nothing instead of saving lives? the world failed the people of Rwanda. The Rwandan genocide reminds us that when hatred is normalized and silence becomes policy, humanity dies first. Don't forget to follow my page, like, share, and drop your own opinion in the comment section.